Okay, so let's talk about your body paragraph then. Your body paragraph. The first part is this topic sentence. We'll talk about that in a second. But if you look at the next three pieces, those three pieces are your evidence. And I know it's hard to see on my board, but I know that you can see on your iPads. So if you want to look at your iPad, go ahead. Evidence A. Let me try to lighten these up so you guys can, so I can show you what it says here on the board. Evidence A. What is evidence A about? What is it about? Yeah, the triangular trade slave stuff, but what? Think, Flo?
How they captured Africans?
Okay, so the first part is about the capturing of Africans. So we know in our middle passage, there was first capturing here. That had to happen first. So that's what our first evidence or piece of information is going to be about. After that, we're going to explain something else about the triangular trade. What else are we explaining? What's the second part? It's not about capturing anymore. Yeah?
The middle passage?
The middle passage. So this is number 1. This is number 2. This middle passage. What about number 3? What's your evidence about?
From landing?
From landing. So this part, the middle passage number 2, number 3 is now the landing when they get over here. So you are going to be talking about all 3 pieces of this middle passage. Well, what was the middle passage? So the taking or capturing, the middle passage itself, and then the end of the middle passage when they arrived. So each one of these is something different. You have to talk about something from this part, something from this part, something from this part. But the good news is, do you know bad things that happened about the capturing? Do you have that from the other day when we researched? Do you know bad things about the ship, what was happening on there? Do you know bad things that happened about the landing? What they did before they or when they were selling? Those are all pieces that you should have in your triangular trade primary and secondary sources document. So those are the 3 things. This one, this one, this one. Now, within that, you're going to have some other things. And those are the 2 that you downloaded today. You'll have a topic sentence strategies, and you'll have a transition. Yes?
When is the primary, secondary due?
It was on the board, and it was on Haiku. It's due this morning at 8 a.m. Yeah. So you will have a topic sentence up here. It says a contrast statement. We'll talk about what that looks like in a minute. Then you have a transition word here, a transition word here, and a transition word here. Now, your very basic transition words might be first, second, third. But I've given you a chart of some more developed ones that you should be using. So we'll talk about those also. Topic sentence, evidence with transition. Evidence with transition. Evidence with transition. Notice that it says add this transition word to the beginning. It looks like maybe it goes after it, but your transition comes at the beginning. First, blah, 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 blah. In addition, moreover, however, those are all types of transitions that we'll talk about, or I'll show you in just a second. So let's go to this topic sentence contrast statement. Would you please open your document called Topic Sentence Strategies? Ooh, I don't know where mine is. All right, so looking at your document called Topic Sentence Strategies, yours looks like this, right? Topic sentence. It says that we are going to be looking at a contrast statement. And a contrast statement for your topic sentence basically says, yes, I know there are benefits, but, this is why we should stop it. You have to agree with the people who like it in a little bit of a way. Yeah, it's beneficial. But it's not worth it, we should stop. That's what you're arguing. So a contrast statement has both sides in it. It says a little bit about the side that you're not on. So people are like, yeah, I know you thought about this. But then it hits them, boom, with the side that you want them to be on. So looking at these examples, example 1, 2, 3, and 4. At your tables, I want you to read these, and I want you to circle, highlight, or underline the words that show the contrast statement. They are up here in bold. Each person at your table will read one. Noemi, can you move to Andy's table just for this activity? Each person at your table will read one. Some of you might read more than once, depending on how many people are at your table.
But after the lockdown,
We're going to do it right now because we'll see what happens. Start with example 1, 2, 3, and 4.
So,
Okay, have a seat.
it wasn't.
So looking at topic sentences examples, guys, we are going to continue to work and you're going to continue to work with me. We're not going to worry about it. Example 1, even though Amazon is convenient, the globalization of this company has an overall negative impact. Which part of that is the opposite side, the one that we don't really want to argue? Oh, Elena?
That Amazon is very convenient.
Yeah, even though Amazon is convenient. So where did they put their argument? At the beginning or at the end?
At the end.
The end. This is the one that they want. That's what they believe. Number 2, instead of having bake sales, schools should raise money. Where did they put the other side?
At the bottom, there's a reason for that.
Where? What do you mean at the bottom?
At the end, there's a reason for why we normally put it at the end. Because when you put something at the top, it kind of creates like a bias on something. If you read something first, you're going to think, probably you're going to think, I like this option better, even though you haven't read the rest. It's kind of like a
I
bias.
actually think you have the right idea, but they're flip-flopped. You want to leave off with the piece so that you think, like Lena said, but that piece is the last piece that you read.
Yeah.
The last thing that they say should be your argument. So this is the opposite side. Instead of having bake sales, this is the side you're arguing. The zoo is famous for its elephants. However, the monkeys are the best. What's the opposite side and what's their side?
Their side. Monkeys.
Their side is monkeys are the best. This is the opposite. Drivers in the city often grumble about traffic and lack of parking. Instead, they should explore the benefit of public transportation. What is their side?
They should have
Public transportation. So when you do a contrast statement, you put the opposite side first and your side last. So that's the last thing they hear is your side. Okay? So your job is going to be to practice making 3 topic sentences that are contrast statements. You can use these words or you can use any of these up here and write them down here. What is the strategy we're using called?
Contrast statement.
Contrast statements. So your job is to make 3. We're going to make 3, and then we will choose the best one that we like. After you have, let's just do 2, because I don't know if we have enough time today. Let's just do 2. After you have done your 2, raise your hand and get them checked by me. And we will talk about what your best one is. Let's just do 2 today, guys. 2. You may use any, but remember it should follow this pattern. Their side first, the side you want is the last thing you say. At your tables, you should be working on your topic sentence practices. When you do this, we are arguing this very basic statement that we said. We said trafficking is bad in all the parts. Parts 1, 2, and 3. Your job is to turn that into something nice by putting it something good about it, but boom, it's bad all of the way. But you're going to have to put more formal words in there. You can't say in all the parts, and you can't say in 1, 2, and 3. You have to say what these parts are and explain it. One long sentence. Are there some good things to having this like slave trade?
Yes.
What are some of those good things?
Well, it's effective.
It's effective. It works. It's very efficient. What else?
The raw material that the slaves collect can be beneficial to Europe.
Yeah. These raw materials, people in Europe get things that they've never had before. They've never had tomatoes in Italy. They came from somewhere else. And wow, what's Italy famous for now?
Pasta and
Pasta
pizza.
with red sauce on it, or pizzas with red sauce from tomatoes. What else? What else makes it beneficial?
Raw materials.
That's part of the thing. Raw materials going over.
Manufactured goods.
Yeah, from those raw materials, we make manufactured goods. There are some good things about this.
Cotton makes these coats. So
Yeah, production of things from the raw materials, these manufactured goods. But it's still not worth it, you're trying to say. So you're turning this trafficking is bad in all the parts is your end part. We shouldn't do it somehow. Okay, that's what you're continuing. That's what you're working on. Okay, listen up. Shh. After you have gotten checked on your example topic sentences and you've chosen your best one and put it inside your outline, typed it in there, then you should see 3 parts that are left for you to put facts in. Now, I know not everybody's been checked yet, but enough people have that enough of you are ready to move on. So when you put that in there, the next part that you see, that's not the one I want, sorry. The next one that you see is evidence A, evidence B, and evidence C, where you talk about the 3 parts of this trip. From picking up to being on the water to landing in the plantation area. So this is part 1, this is part 2, this is part 3. Your job, I'll wait. Your job is to say, explain with specific examples from the capturing of Africans in Africa. What happened, who was involved, and where. How many sentences does it ask you?
3 or more.
3 or more. So this section should have 3 sentences. This one should have 3 sentences. This should have 3 sentences. Minimum, you should have
3 sentences.
in total
9.
9 here and 1 here. So your paragraph is minimum 10 sentences. 1, 3, 3, 3. I'm still waiting. So if you have been checked and your first statement is fine, you are ready to start evidence A, evidence B, and evidence C. That means answer these questions. What happened? Who was involved? Where? Or give me proof and examples about negative things happening for the capture. So what is something negative or abusive or torturous or cruel happening in the capture?
They take away them from their families,
So who's the who? Who's involved? Who's they?
the slaves, and the capture.
Okay, so who are the slave capturers?
Or the Europeans.
Europeans, or part of this process could be English people as part of Europe, but Europeans,
Well, it could be like they're same people too.
hold on, Europeans are acting as slave catchers or paying and trading people to capture their own people. Tell me more about the capture that we know that's abusive and cruel and horrible.
Well, after that, they put them in chains and
What do we
make
call that? What's that word? They
coffle.
put them in chains or in a coffle.
And they make them walk to the beach.
Okay, which could be a long, long walk. What else?
The people who are captured, the only reason they do it is because they're scared of their lives, and they bribe them to do it.
Okay.
Because if they don't, they're threatened
So people
to
are
be those.
people are turned against their own people, and they're turning against that by the fact that they're threatening that it could happen to them. Do you have potentially some quotes from a slave talking about being captured, or some examples from the art in the document you turned in yesterday or today?
Yeah.
Yes. So you need 3 pieces of that. Then you're going to talk about the middle passage. You know some negative things that are abusive and cruel and torturous that happen here. Answering what and who and where and how. Same thing. 3, 3, 3. Questions?
No.
Okay. Yes.
So, are we gonna work on this tomorrow?
Today and tomorrow.
Okay.
So you should be getting parts of this done now, or I should still be checking you and getting your approval for your topic sentence. Who still needs their topic sentence? Just a handful. The rest of you can start. Okay, I'm coming around.